standards, better than county roads really. Before they're allowed to build a subdivision. What was happening before? What year was it we adopted that ordinance?
It was adopted in 96.
What happened before that was you'd have all these subdividers coming in from out of state, subdividing, selling their lots, not creating roads, just designating a strip of land for roads and this and that. And they would leave. In about 5 or 10 years, they were gone, and they would leave this subdivisions with nothing, no roads, no infrastructure, no drainage, no nothing. Now these people are coming to us. All these people are coming to us, and there's a lot of subdivisions. So that's why the county commission at one time said that they don't want to accept any new roads, because of the fact that if we do accept one road, what difference this person from this other person, and the county could start setting some other kind of precedence and opening up new roads. I know that there's certain circumstances that the county commission can look at certain roads where there's a lot of population maybe, and it's a small road where the buses go in for children. But that's something that the county commission needs to deal with in the future, because right now, that was
So right now,
pretty much the rule of the county commission in the past. Anyone will start opening up new roads because we can't maintain what we have.
no, I hear you. So now do we have in planning and zoning a requirement that subdividers provide and maintain the roads and not pass the burden to us? Have we passed that for PSC?
It's required as part of their disclosure statement and their restrictive covenants.
Okay.
But usually what happens, and we have a lot of older subdivisions, and as Commissioner,
Before that rule.
yes, as Commissioner Padilla pointed out, now they're coming to the county, a lot of the residents from older subdivisions, and we have subdivisions that are 60, 70 years old at least, and that were developed before the current regulations went into place. And no drainage, the right-of-way widths are narrow, things of that nature. And whenever someone comes in, and we did have residents from Prospero Drive come and visit us last week, a week already. We explained the process to them, and we also give them a copy of the minimum road standards, so that there are no surprises, so they know what's required.
May I suggest, Mr. Manager, in all the years that he was talking about all the different road viewings and stuff, it was well over 150 maybe in a span, in one abandonment in that span of time. I'd like to direct you and Public Works to just take a really good look at all the roads that we have and which ones should be abandoned and could be abandoned, because it's very difficult to adopt road without abandoning an assessment. So if we do want to help people on Prospero Lane or another one that's a short road that we've gotten rid of, 3 miles or 5 miles out there in the middle of nowhere where no one is anymore, that we're obligated just to get an assessment on all the roads, who lives in them, and a recommendation from Public Works on which ones should be abandoned. It sounds like there was one abandonment and one adoption.
Yes.
One abandonment and mess and one adoption, so it was like a trade-off.
Usually the abandonments come from the ranchers or the person that the road is only being used by one person or two. Yeah. And those two persons come in and request abandoning that road because it's maybe a block long or something like that. That's county, and they don't want the county to own it because they want to block it up.
They want to put a gate.
They don't need anybody there on that road. Right. So that's the kind of abandonments we get. We get the request. We don't usually find them, but they come to us because
so
all the roads
never
we have
found
now.
them then, apparently, no, except for the one in Mess,
no,
because it was just too difficult to maintain.
And it's usually the property owners that come in, right, to request the abandonment. When you're going to request abandoning a road, usually the landowners come in to request that we abandon this particular road because there's only one or two persons living in that area,
Or the county itself can
Right.
request the abandonment.
or the county
Yes.
can request it also.
What I imagine too,
Like you were
is
saying, I mean, you could go out and look.
Yeah.
that the county is asked to go maintain a road. I know I've got calls like that, and there's a lock, so we said, well, you can't, can't be a county road if they lock it. So do they designate those, or those haven't been really looked at? Like in my area, I'm thinking of a couple areas where it was a county road, designated as a county road, but people since then have put locks on it. And I was told, well, they can't maintain it if it's now locked and it's not a county road no more, it's private. So I don't know if anything's taken place to formalize that, or, you know what I'm saying? Or does that just happen?
Well, if it's a county road, it shouldn't have a gate and it shouldn't be locked.
And an assessment will probably answer your questions if they
Yeah.
assess everything. If they assess it and say, this is a county road, it's had a gate and a lock on it for ever and ever, should probably abandon it past that gate or something, you know? I think an assessment will give us a lot of information.
I think you're right.
Thank you, Mr. Tafoya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 8, approval to ratify and accept fiscal year emergency management performance grant award.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Ms. Gonzalez, Dr. Martinez. The Office of Emergency Management would like to ask for the approval and to ratify and accept the Emergency Management Performance Grant, which is in the amount of $64,597.21, which in turn goes towards the salaries and benefits of the OEM manager and the EM specialist.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Martinez.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Mr. Vice Chair, can you take over for a moment?
Sure. Item number 9, resolution number 10-10-17, RA01, addition of Viento Lane, a newly named private road to the office of E911 road list of San Miguel County, New Mexico.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners, Dr. Martinez. During a routine address request for a local resident from Rociada, it was discovered that there are 3 address structures on a single road located off of New Mexico Highway 105 near Rociada, New Mexico. Per San Miguel County Ordinance, SMC 071399, ORD-2, Section 4.1-C, proposed to San Miguel County Board of County Commissioners. Please review and take appropriate action on road naming for any private road that provides access to 3 or more buildings and requires a name in order to promote the health, safety, and welfare of the public. The Rural Addressing Division requested the residents name this driveway. The residents returned a road name petition, and all current residents agreed to the name of Viento Lane. The name has been determined to be acceptable by SMC Rural Addressing staff per San Miguel County Ordinance. Because this road name was required and not requested by the residents, the $100 fee has been waived. Recommendation of the staff is to review and approve the road request.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Martinez for approval, seconded by Commissioner Nahar. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries. Item number 10.
Item number 10 is Resolution 10-10-17, RA02, addition of Prim Road, a newly named private road to the official E91 road list of San Miguel County roads. The Rural Addressing Division requests the residents name this driveway. The residents returned a road name petition, and all current residents agreed on the name of Prim Road. The name has been deemed to be acceptable by Rural Addressing staff per San Miguel County Ordinance, and because this road naming was required and not requested by the residents, the $100 fee has been waived. At this time, the staff recommends that we review and approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
You heard the motion by Commissioner Varela for approval, seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries. Thank you. Item number 11. First extension of care prisoners agreement with Colfax County, New Mexico, and San Miguel County, New Mexico. Mr. Elwa.
Commissioners, Chairman, County Manager, this is the first extension of care of prisoners between the San Miguel County and the County of Colfax. This is a 4-year contract which renews annually.
Any questions? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Martinez for approval,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries. A renewal, item number 12, a first renewal agreement with the inmate health care services, health and care management services at the San Miguel County Detention Center. The agreement provides for health services to the detainees of the San Miguel County Detention Center. Elwa.
Commissioners, Chairman, County Manager, this is the first renewal of agreement for inmate health care within the detention center. This is the first renewal of a 4-year contract, which renews annually.
Mr. Romero, did you have a chance to check the contract?
Yes, sir. As a
Is
matter of
everything
fact,
all right?
it's legally appropriate.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
Motion to approve?
Motion made by Commissioner Nahar for approval,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries. Item number 13, third extension agreement contract care of prisoners, City of Las Vegas, New Mexico and San Miguel County, New Mexico. Mr. Alva.
Commissioners, Chairman, County Manager, this is again the third extension of care of prisoners between the City of Vegas and San Miguel County for care of prisoners that are arrested within the City of Las Vegas or incur charges within the city ordinances. This is the third year of a 4-year contract, and this agreement has also already been signed by city officials, and I have that contract signed.
Mr. Romero, did you have a chance to review the contract?
Yes, I did, Mr. Chairman. It is legally appropriate. The only contract which was not legally appropriate was the contract with Colfax County, and I saw that there were inconsistencies between that contract and our other jail contracts. Jail administrator, the warden, and I sat down. We went through the history. We went through my concerns. He offered me his viewpoint. We sat down. We modified the Colfax County jail contract because it had an indemnification clause saying that we would be responsible for any lawsuits against Colfax County, and I said that was unacceptable. And we made that modification. So all of our contracts will be consistent as far as the language is concerned. So all of the contracts you will hear today concerning the jail, the warden and I have sat down and gone through them, and they are legally acceptable.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Martinez for approval,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposition, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Elwa. Item number 14, repeal and reaward the bid on Gunner Trail, a 25C base course project.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, this item is to repeal a previous award that was made to company RL Leader on for the Gunner Trail project. The award was recommended and made to you all in error. And how could this happen? Well, it happens because with the transparency and internal controls that the county government has, we actually never touch the bids, which is a good thing. So in case anyone interested, no one in Public Works could modify anything in any bids that are accepted by the county. The engineer, in doing the compilation of the bid tabs, made an error in the computations and recommended the wrong contractor. We brought that to you all without reviewing it. We made the recommendation, you accepted it. After it was accepted, In our review, before the pre-construction conference, we caught the error. This is to correct that error and award it to the right company, repealing the award to RL Leader and awarding it to EnviroWorks. The amount is $29,047.85. We ask for your approval.
Mr. Romero, can you give us some input on that? Is that legal, the way we did it now? Is everything all right with the rebid?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the approach taken to identify and cure the problem is appropriate.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
And
Motion?
What's one question? Once it's, Mr. Vice Chair, once it's awarded,
Deliberate.
do you think this project can be done before winter hits?
Substantially complete, depends on the weather. The weather holds up, yes. And we have more projects on the agenda today that are going to be weather dependent, but we think we can get them complete if we have dry weather.
Thank you.
Any more questions? If not, I'll start for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Delivery for approval. Seconded by Commissioner Nahar. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? No opposition, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner
Item
Padilla.
number 15.
Item number 15 is another repeal and reaward for a job on County Road B60. That's the one that's related to the mining company and the abatement of those contaminated materials. This one was properly awarded to the lowest qualified bidder. However, within the allowable time frame, the contractor realized that they could not perform the contract reasonably for the price that they bid it. We met with the contractor, and specifically, it was the housing costs. This company, I think, is from Silver City. They hadn't planned on the campgrounds closing early, and that's where their employees were going to be housed. So they were going to have to pay for housing in Santa Fe, which put them in a position where they were going to lose a lot of money. They requested to be let out of the agreement. We're agreeing to that because, number one, we don't want to have anyone that doesn't want to work with us, and we have had a couple of issues with this contractor in the past. The other reason is that going to the second lowest qualified bidder is only going to cost us about $200 more. The bids were that close. So we want to let this contractor out of the agreement, Sierra Valley, and award to the next lowest qualified bidder, which is Rocky Road Gravel Products. The amount is $321,649.43.
I'll make a motion to approve, and I do have a question after.
Okay, motion made by Commissioner Varela to approve. Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Commissioner Varela?
My monthly question, every meeting I ask about that Arroyo leading, that I sent a picture to Arnold last week when it was flooded, and in fact, Mr. Abal, who works in Environment Department, slipped a note with Mr. Llewellyn, who presented here, that I should call her about this road again tonight. So I understand that we need engineering and design work on that Arroyo to lift it up. Is that going to happen anytime soon, so I can tell people that I get called on that road all the time? And it's leading to this other road that's on the agenda. It's the Arroyo that's flooding.
For the fact that there was not monies, dedicated to that particular project, we're just going to have to wait till the end of these projects are completed, and then we're going to see what monies are saved, because we are getting really good bidding, or low bids, should I say, so we're able to, perform these projects and get them accomplished at a lot lower cost than anticipated. So we are anticipating some monies left, and at that time we'll revisit with commission and decide and dedicate monies to wherever you think is needed.
Okay.
And I'm thinking we could, hopefully, if you all approve that, we could accomplish it at that time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks for all you do, gentlemen. Item number 16, approval bid award of 2017 revenue bond project in Cerrito. The lowest, most qualified bidder, Mr. Madrid.
This is a simple bid award. This is for the Cerrito project. Lowest, most qualified bidder is Rocky Road Gravel Products. in the amount of $26,899.80. We ask for your approval.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 18, approval of bid award for the 2017 revenue bond project in Villanueva to the lowest most qualified bidder, Mr. Madrid.
I think we're on item number 17, Mr. Chair.
I apologize. Did I skip one? There are so many more Madrid items here.
Not by my
Okay,
choice.
The project, item number 17, the bond project in Garita to the lowest most qualified bidder.
This is another regular award of project. Lowest most qualified bidder was Rocky Road Gravel Products. The amount is $196,313.
Stand for motion. Motion to approve, Commissioner Lahar.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 18, now the bond project in Villanueva. Mr. Madrid.
This is the Villanueva project. Lowest most qualified bidder, again, is Rocky Road Gravel Products. The amount is $18,296.
Which road is this? Which one?
This is, oh, I don't remember the number.
Is it past the river? Is that the one that we're
It's on
looking at?
the other side.
This particular one, starts like once you pass the village and it loops back to State Road out towards the, whatchamacallit out there?
Towards the park.
Towards the state
Oh,
park,
river.
exactly,
Okay.
yes. Yes, so that's that particular road.
Okay.
And it's just, it's a simple project. We're just resurfacing, with base course material, like a 3-inch application.
Awesome, thank you. Motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Commissioner Varela.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 19, revenue bond project on CRC-23 White Barn. Mr. Madrid.
This is the approval for a portion of the design project on County Road 23. As Mr. Estrada stated, this has been in design for a while. This project came in almost double what the engineer's estimate was in the bidding. What we do in all these projects is we divide it into lots so that if we can afford 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 lots, we get them all. But if we can't, then we get the ones that we can afford, and we prioritize those. In this particular case, we can't afford all of them, so we had to choose between the part where the turn is by the tracks and a short piece that goes by the overpass, or the long stretch on the other side. We did meet with the engineers, and we did talk to our commissioner from that district, and we did agree that we would be able to address the entire project over a period of time. This bid lot is for the extended stretch past the overpass. And what we're going to do, because we already have the design, is we'll address the turn with our county resources. That's some signage and surfacing, and we can do that ourselves. Since we already paid for the design, we know exactly what needs to be done. This is to award 2 bid lots for the White Barn project in the amount of $225,915.20 to Rocky Road.
With assurance is that if there's money left over, that they'll complete the rest of it. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, and like Mr. Lopez said, once we're substantially through these projects, especially now in the winter, we'll have an idea of how much money we've saved, and then we'll come back to you with recommendations on how to redirect those savings among the projects that are there.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion made by Commissioner Hart, seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 20, our monthly report. Mr. Lopez.
Diego, we have a picture to show you all. Oh, it's behind me. Sorry. This is out in San Jeronimo. There used to be 4 culverts there till last week. The other 3 are downstream somewhere. This road is completely washed out.
Where is it?
In San Jeronimo.
Oh, San Jeronimo.
And The reason that we're showing this to you is because this is an example of the things that we have to deal with when we have weather the way we've had. This is a project that's beyond our capability. The type of equipment that we need to place the culverts and do the earthwork that's necessary requires a big excavator that we don't have. We have our resources all over the place, as you can imagine. But we have to address this. We have to reopen that road. We had a meeting with our county manager and our finance director because this is going to be a major fiscal impact, probably about $10,000 to $12,000. So, with your permission, we don't want to use any of the savings from these projects that you have been approving, not yet. If we needed to, we would ask for that permission. What we plan on doing is using the interest earned on all this money that has not been spent yet because it's not designated and it won't affect any other projects. So that's how we're going to pay for this particular one. But we wanted to show you the type of emergencies that we do have to deal with. So that's just a short bit of information.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Okay, normally I give you a report where we've been and where we've done some maintenance on, but the maintenance that we did pull on these roads is all gone. So we didn't accomplish anything, right? So I'm not even going to tell you where we've been. I'm just going to tell you where we need to go. We have a lot of damage throughout the county, a lot of erosion, a lot of washouts. Some of our low water crossings, which are concrete, have sustained some damage that again we're going to have to revisit. We're going to need some additional monies to correct these problems. So we're going to have to come back to you again with maybe some of these savings and stuff and address some of those concrete crossings, because if we don't address them, they're going to fail on us, and we're going to be having to spend a lot more money than if we repair them at this point.
Did we apply for any monies on the disaster this time? Because I know we had so much flooding, it was almost worse than that other time, and we got funding from the federal FEMA, or I think it was FEMA or...
Homeland Security.
Yeah, and they do provide monies for emergency disasters.
We did actually meet with FEMA this morning. They had a couple of representatives here just to review the processes. And we have a lot of little areas, and even if we combine them together into one incident, and there are multiple incidents, we don't meet the threshold in the dollar amounts to apply.
What's the threshold?
It's about, for the county, about $500,000.
And for the state, it has to be $3 million before any federal monies could come in. The state could declare a disaster, but none of those thresholds have been met either.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I was kind of surprised that we didn't call an emergency meeting. Because you usually do when there's a disaster.
We wake you up in the middle of the night.
Thank you.
Yeah, and a lot of the issues that we have out there, being that it was that type of slow rain, soaker type rain, when we get heavy downpours, you'll just create, or maybe just erosions are created in specific areas. But this rain that we had that lasted that many days just really impacted the whole road and pretty much throughout the whole county.
Let me ask you, Arnold, how are the roads holding up, the new ones that we're doing now? That's a big concern because they're just recently redone.
Yeah, it was a good trial period on rocky roads. Material has held up really well. Our material has held up well, considering, it's not the best material, but that's what we have available to us. But it did hold up really well in areas that was traveled and well compacted. We used it on some of the projects, recent projects, and being the fact that they hadn't been traveled and it hadn't gone through that process of the compaction and the traffic really hardening that, it's not bad. It's just going to require a little bit of reblading and then recompacting. But I was impressed because I did visit, quite a few roads because I was really concerned how our material was going to hold up. And really, I was impressed that it did hold up pretty decent.
The
But-
culverts that were installed, were they running all right, most of them?
Yes, yes. So, well, we found out some new areas that we might have to go in and put additional culverts, places that didn't seem like it was a problem area. But with all these rains, it did create ponding areas, and we probably will have to change order a few additional culverts and address those areas that it's needed for additional drainage.
Thank you, Arnold.
Any other questions? Any other comments?
Let me give you just a little bit more information on that pothole project that we have up in Gainas, because I know there's been concern about that. So I just made contact with our engineer, and we are awaiting any day to get the final documentation from the CES people. And once we get that, then we could proceed and
And pray for warm weather.
pray for good weather, yes, because we're going to need some decent weather.
Okay,
But
thank
we're
you.
still planning on accomplishing that, before
Okay,
winter
yeah,
time.
it was marked off, I don't know, several months ago, then we got the rains and we got,
Mm-hmm.
so my vecinos are,
Yeah, I know they're anxious. If it's not going to happen, I plan on just getting up there and temporary doing another repair with just base course and just address those holes, temporary if worst case.
okay.
But either ways, they will get filled in one way
I
or
know you guys
another.
are stretched thin, I appreciate what you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 21, recommendation to approve the job description of the deputy warden, Eileen Cedillo.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, Dr. Martinez, Ms. Gonzalez. So I come to you with another revision of a job description. So I've run this one through County Manager Martinez and Warden Elwell. So I'm seeking approval of the changes to replace the current job description for the Chief of Security. And this new position will be titled Deputy Warden, along with a few changes within the job description. Basically, just to stress the importance that in the event that the warden is not present or not available, that he is next in command.
Sounds like a plan. It's time for a motion, if there are no questions.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez, seconded by Commissioner Nahat. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 22, vacant positions, Eileen Cedillo again.
So I'm seeking the approval to ratify the hiring of Victoria Lucero to fill the vacant position of Transport Officer with the San Miguel County Sheriff's Office.
Motion to approve, Mr.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Padilla. Second. Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 23, personnel action changes for the months of 2017. Eileen Cedillo.
And lastly, I'm seeking your approval on ratification of the personnel actions or changes that have taken place during the month of September 2017.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Commissioner Padilla. Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Item number 24, 4th Judicial Courtroom 105 to 106 remodel. The Honorable Judge Matthew Sandoval.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Thank you again for accommodating me and putting me towards the end. That was important. I made a presentation at the last regular meeting, and so we're asking for those funds to make those improvements at the courthouse to accommodate, to help with the matrix drug court, and also to help with the pro se litigants, the ones that don't have attorneys. And I believe I said the last time was 1,000 people came to the court last year that didn't have attorneys. It's a big stressor on everybody, and we need that space to help with those issues. And we're also going to be looking at our program before placing people in jail, which is another one, pre-detention, to try to work try to keep the people in jail that need to be and the ones that don't need to be out and help them with that. So it's kind of that's the third part of it that we're going to try and do. But the drug court is really important, and the pro se litigants, we really need the help in the space. And the last time I was here, we did get, actually the architect had provided a cost estimate. It's a little over 19,000, but I think the recommendation was 19,000. So that's what we're asking for your consideration. It's an important step. I think it does a lot for the county.
Thank you, Judge.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Padilla, seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
A ti. A usted.
Thank you for all you do, Judge.
Thank you. We heard the compliments out there, and we speak of it earlier. We had you guys up there.
Good. That's nice to hear.
This one.
For today.
For today. The optic carrot.
No, seriously.
This one.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge.
Board of Finance meeting, Bertha Bustamante, please. Our San Miguel County Treasurer.
I'll make it short. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Before I start with our transfers that we had, our collection for September alone was $449,000 this month. Our tax roll is ready, and my bills will be going out November the 1st. So we're good to go for another year.
How are you doing on collections as far as your average?
Well,
This year.
this actually is the delinquent collections that we're getting. We have Greg Eliason that's working for the state of New Mexico. He's working out of our office.
Okay.
He's making phone calls, and he's making sure that people come in, people owing since 2013.
And the regular taxes?
The
How are you
regular
doing?
taxes are good.
Good.
You know, we get slow for a couple of days, and then he starts making phone calls and people are coming in, so people are actually responding. They're responding more than they did last time that we had another one of the state officials working with us.
Good.
But it's working real good, actually. He's very helpful, he's very considerate with the people, their finances and everything, but they seem to be responding to him. And they'll come in within a week when he tells them you need to pay this before the November bills go out, and they're coming in. So
I
it's
have
working
another
real
question.
good.
When are we gonna do the credit cards? Are we ever gonna do that?
We looked into it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
No?
No, the credit cards will actually charge the county to have the credit card machines over here. Plus, they'll also charge the customers.
Double
So
dipping.
customers are actually complaining about paying their taxes, and if they have to pay $350 more to use their credit cards, people don't like that really. They don't respond well to that.
What about electronic deposits? Is that something that's being done or not yet?
I don't know that we've looked into the electronics with the banks. I really don't.
We haven't, we have not looked into that for our offices, but there are some people who look at their banks, elect to pay their solid waste bill automatically. Just
Deposit
in.
direct?
Well, some of our governmental entities will make direct deposits, but some of the other customers who have that option, the bank automatically cuts a check for them. It's money automatically gets billed to us. But,
The only reason I'm saying, Bertha, is because everybody is paying with cards nowadays. There's hardly no cash.
Right, and we do have the people that do pay bill through their banks, and we'll get the check in the mail. We already have that set up, but as far as our debit card, I really haven't really looked into
I
that.
think there's somebody there who wants to say something.
Real quick on that,
Who's that?
Commissioner.
Identify yourself.
As far as credit card processing is concerned, the credit card companies skim their fee off the top of the transaction. As it pertains to a tax bill, let's say, for instance, a ranch out in Conchas that has a tax bill over $100,000, a 3% skim off of that is pretty substantial. And the county would have to be willing to absorb that loss. Now, when it comes to our solid waste tipping fees or our bills, those are less substantial. You're looking at 3% on a $35 fee, which is only a few cents, but when you start targeting those high price tag items, such as the tax assessments on the ranches, it becomes pretty substantial. So that's one of the things that has been a roadblock when it comes to credit card processing for those transactions.
Thank you.
Nobody wants to pay more.
That's for sure.
What we do is actually,
So they don't pay more, we just lose it, yeah.
tax payments, we would lose several $100,000 in just the processing fee alone.
Does that the customer have to pay an
No,
additional
that would
amount?
be us.
Oh, just the county?
Yeah, it actually benefits the customer because they get points towards the transaction on their card. But us as the organization would lose that percentage because it's skimmed off the top of the transaction.
Okay, that answered my question.
Okay, our payroll transfer for September 14th was from detention center, $55,648.14. From general fund, $196,326.66. A total of $241,974.80. For September the 28th, detention center was $47,167.38. General fund, $164,544.41. A total of $211,711.79. Our Bernalillo transfer was $46,420. And then we also had a transfer from general fund to fire, which was $3,064, and that was for that came in from Department of Health. And those were all the transfers that I had this month.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you and all your staff.
Oh, always. Thank you.
Item number 26, Resolution 2017-10-10 F1, authorizing the creation of Funds 755. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this particular resolution is to create Fund 755, and I'll just go ahead and read this. Whereas the County of San Miguel will be conducting writs of execution for the courts, which will require the county to open a bank account and create a fund to account for the activity. Whereas in order to open the bank account, a $500 deposit will need to be made. A budget transfer of $500 will be required from the general fund to this fund. This $500 will remain in this account fund until such time the county determines that the fund and account should be closed. Whereas the writs of execution will require the sheriff's office to seize and auction items ordered by the court. Upon completion of the auction, the auctioneer will deposit the net proceeds to this account. The county will utilize these funds to reimburse any costs incurred by the county. These costs will be identified by the county sheriff. The remainder of the funds, not including the initial $500 deposit, will be given to the courts to reimburse the petitioner. The fund will be treated as an agency fund, whereas in the event this fund is to be closed, the initial $500 deposit will revert back to the general fund. Whereas the governing body meeting and regular meeting on October 10, 2017 approved the creation and use of 755, if so approved.
Thank you, Melinda.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve by Commissioner Varela, seconded by Commissioner Padilla. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 27, another resolution, 2017-10-10 F2. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this one's kind of a lengthy budget adjustment, so I'll go over each item. One of the first adjustments is to increase the revenue in the general fund by $19,557.25. We had received that much money for hail damages to 12 different vehicles. So we're requesting that the budgeted revenues be increased by this amount and that the general fund expenditures also be increased by that amount plus an additional $2,500 to cover the deductible. I'm also requesting a transfer of $19,000 from the general fund to Fund 210, which is the district court annex remodeling for the item that was just approved when the judge came over here. The next item has to do with the Tiger application that was approved earlier, and it's to request a budget increase of $12,500 for this particular funding. The next adjustment is to increase the general fund expenditures by $30,822. Originally, at the beginning of the year, when we budgeted for the comprehensive plan, we budgeted what we thought was going to be the remaining balance to finish phase one. In meeting with the company, we determined what the remaining portion of that bill is, and we've also determined that phase two will be worked on, provided you approve this budget adjustment. But in order to complete both, we'll need $30,822. The next adjustment is an increase in the general fund budget by $15,000 to provide additional funding to the Samaritan House. This funding would be good through the end of the fiscal year. And just for some information regarding that one, our current contract with the Samaritan House expires at the end of November. And should you choose to approve this budget adjustment, we'll still continue to pay Samaritan $1,250 per month up till November 2017. And if this were to be approved, what we could do is we have to enter into another agreement with them. But because the agreement is kind of awkward because it ends in November, we'd recommend an agreement to go from December to the end of our fiscal year, which is June 2018. And the recommendation would be to fund them $5,000 a month for December, January, and February, and $1,875 a month for the remaining months thereafter up until June 2018. The next budget adjustment is an $11,000 transfer from Fund 704 to Fund 221 to purchase equipment for the detention center. These funds that are coming from 704 are actually residual monies that we have in there. When we refinanced that loan back in December, we had some monies that were used for the detention center and the sheriff's office, and to pay for some of the closing costs. Our closing costs actually came in about $11,000 lower than what we expected, so that's what I'm requesting to be transferred. The next transfer is the $500 to be transferred to Fund 755 in order to open up the writ of execution account. And then the final adjustment would be to budget for the revenue and expenditures of $500 for the Cabo Lucero Volunteer Fire Department as a result of receiving a CenturyLink grant.
Thank you, Melinda. Motion to approve by Commissioner Martinez.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 28, cash balance report. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this information is for for informational purposes only, and it's to report the July 31st reconciled cash balances.
Any questions? Item number 29, accounts payable. Melinda Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I'm presenting to you two reports. One, a report from our system showing payments that have been made from our Tyler system for the date range of August 25th, 2017 through September 25th, 2017. And then also to provide you with the August 2017 housing payment registered processed by Bernalillo County on behalf of San Miguel County.
Questions? Stand for motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Commissioner Nahar. Seconded by Commissioner Martinez. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Indigent burial, Nelson's funeral. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, we had one claim that was submitted to our office. They met the guidelines, so we went ahead and processed the payment, and we're seeking ratification of $1,200 to regarding a payment to Nelson's Funeral Home.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Martinez.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Nahar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Receipt report for the month of August 2017. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, I provided a report from our Tyler system. This report shows transactions of receipts collected in our Treasurer's Office as well as our Solid Waste Billing Office, and it's for the month of August 2017.
As information purposes only.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 32, journal entry report of the month of August. Ms. Gonzalez.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, item 32 is also for informational purposes only, and this report reflects all journal entries that were made during the month of August, regardless of what month they were posted to. Just shows all the journal entries posted for that particular month, in that particular month.
Any questions? Mr. Manager?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, real quickly, I just want to recognize Mr. Lyons from the Samaritan House, and I want to thank all of you for your continued support of the Samaritan House. This is really important. Again, I want to thank all of you for your support.
How are your new digs, sir? Or your new building? That's a term I learned just like 2 days ago. New digs,
I'm
yeah.
looking for a dress for my granddaughter. Where are you with this?
That's a gift shop next to Walmart, but he's talking about the shelter on Nelson.
On great. On Nelson?
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for all you do. Mr. Manager, is there any reason to go into executive session today?
Mr. Chairman, no, we do not have it.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made to adjourn by Commissioner Padilla,
Second?
seconded by Commissioner Varela. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Fantastic meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Have everybody sign off on the work and your signature. Actually, this
More than how much is it? Everything
I'm thinking just my secretary, I had a point, because I'm seeing these other fine people claims of violence and school, even if we speed it up like 30 days. It's still worse than I thought. I'm good at it.
I'm not 100%, but I'm like 90.
I'm not guilty. Want to see some action, and I think